Now, I'll let you take the floor first here. Lazy coming off the line of scrimmage feels like a bold statement coming from a former Cowboy. Your thoughts?
It does. First of all, love hearing him praise the Baltimore Ravens. What a world we live in now where the Baltimore Ravens receivers are getting praised for their route running. It's deserved, but what a contrast to a few years ago. Love that for the Ravens. I think Troy is absolutely right. You know, watching the Cowboys week after week, nobody's open. And there's a few reasons for that. Some of that has to do with the scheme. The quarterback does like to throw into tight windows, but a lot of it does have to do with the pass catchers. I don't think Troy is wrong at all to pin some of the blame on them. Now, of note, the Dallas Cowboys went into this season not upgrading there, and they're being punished for it. This was an entirely foreseeable disaster when it comes to these skill players and their inability to get open.
So Aikman's 100% accurate. I think, number one, I have said this. I don't think any offense sets their quarterback up for failure more than Dallas does with Dak Prescott. They're terrible running the football on first down, but I want to talk specifically to the passing game. I know you disagree with me, specific to the passing game. Mina, disagree with me if you want to as well. They don't even run routes. They run like stop routes on the outside. You know how many times I get sick and tired of watching the Cowboys run stop routes on the outside? Number two, that's why I have talked about all year CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott being on different pages. When you as the quarterback, and this is what Troy is talking about, when you as the quarterback are unsure of where guys are going to be, when they're going to be there, and you're getting fooled by it, you're hesitant to throw the ball. You throw the ball before they're expecting it. That's why you get interceptions like you did against the Steelers down in the red zone. When you play against defenses that are very hip to hip and play sticky in their coverage, you're not going to get away with it. That's the reality. It's the truth.
You make me sick.
Because I tell you.
You really, really do. You make me sick. Because I know what you're doing. You're making excuses for Dak Prescott. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're making excuses. Once again, you find some you'll find a way to slither in a protective mode or measure for the quarterback. This is what you're doing. You're not getting away with it. Let me ask you a question.
Is Troy Aikman doing that?
Listen, first of all, Troy Aikman was absolutely on point. I do not disagree with a single syllable that he said, but that is not my point.
Yes, sir.
You took it a step further than he did. Because you see, what you're doing is you're skirting around the fact that you're partially responsible as a quarterback for your receivers running those damn routes.
Agree.
You know, let me ask you a question. Now, obviously, I ain't played no football. I ain't think about playing no damn football when trying to get hit. Okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Did you imagine? And you can leave Mina up on the screen because she'll be laughing about this. But I'm telling you this. I want this answer from you. I want you to be serious, Dan. Answer this question.
Always am.
Could you imagine me as a quarterback for an NFL team getting paid $60 million? And I'm being made to look bad because my receiver ain't running no damn routes? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine? Do you know what I would do? Do you have any idea what I would do if I'm getting paid and you making me look bad because you lazy off the line of scrimmage? You running stop routes? You ain't putting forth your due diligence? Could you imagine? That's what I'm talking about here. When we're sitting here, Mina, when we're sitting there, and I'll come to you with this. Dak is partially responsible. He's not totally to blame. I'm not trying to imply it. But I will say this. This better be Mike McCarthy's last season. Somebody got to say it.
Thank you.
This better be Mike McCarthy's last season. Because with what Troy Aikman said, there is such dereliction of duty flowing around the Dallas Cowboys. Who the hell is responsible for holding them accountable to do their job? Mike McCarthy, as far as I'm concerned, with what Troy Aikman said, with what you articulated, with what Mina is nodding her head about, Mike McCarthy need to go. Mike McCarthy needs to go.
Okay.
He need to go.
I agree with you on that part. I think the conversation we're having about the receivers running the wrong routes or not being as good as some of the teams that Troy mentioned, that 100% falls on Mike McCarthy. You are dead right. We don't have to imagine what it looks like when an elite quarterback has to deal with receivers running bad routes. Aaron Rodgers told us about it after the Jets lost on Monday. We know what that looks like when a quarterback is not happy with his receivers. As far as Dan, I've worked with Dan for 6 years. he does not make excuses for Dak Prescott. I'll just say that. If he is diagnosing something with this Cowboys offense and it falls on people other than Dak, he is telling the truth. I agree with him 100%
This man is allergic.
about the nature of this offense.
Mina, stop it.
Thank you,
I'm
Mina.
not letting you get
Thank
away
you,
with this,
Mina.
Mina. I love you.
Thank you, Mina.
You are not getting away.
Thank you, Mina.
That's NFL Live, brother and
just-
sisterhood
We
coming
live in a
together.
world of
That's what
truth.
that is. Oh, stop it.
We live in a
There's
world-
no way. Dan Orlovsky being straight up about quarterbacks with him. You.
That's all I do.
Listen,
That's all I do.
If there is a scintilla of evidence to make a quarterback feel good and look good, then we'll
Because I know how hard it
then
is
we'll
to play
find
the
it.
position.
I
Not as
understand
good as they
that.
do,
I understand that, but my point is
Cowboys
that's what
fans
I'm
watching
saying.
this don't know how to feel.
Yeah, okay.
Cowboys fans watching this must be so confused because
Oh,
Dan
my goodness.
is defending
Oh,
your guy,
please.
and he's dead right. He's dead right.
Yes, and I've said this for weeks now about this offense. Okay, both things could be true at the same time. That one, no, Dak is not playing well, and he is not seeing the field well. No question. Absolutely is getting hung out to dry by the performance of the wide receivers.
Okay.
No question asked.
Okay.
The second part of this that is the most important part. There are some quarterbacks that are playmakers, and there's some quarterbacks that are technicians. Dak is much more of a technician. When you're a technician at quarterback, your pass game has to be precise. That is a mandate.
Right.
That is a mandate. And when you are a quarterback that is built upon playing on time, playing on rhythm, throwing guys before they are open out of their cuts, and that's not happening,
Go ahead, man.
you don't get to play to the style that you want.
Dan, it's not dissimilar from what we have seen with the New York Jets.
Correct.
There's a lot of similarities between these offenses. They are out of step with the rest of, they've been out of step with the rest of the NFL. They are highly reliant on timing and these quarterbacks making hyper accurate throws. The Jets said, wow, because of that, we are going to get Devontae Adams. Cowboys ain't going to do anything.
Right. The Cowboys are just going to line up and run the same routes.
So
That's the problem.
So in other words, it's really not Dak Prescott's fault. He really doesn't have
He's
much.
part of it, yes.
He's a victim.
Context.
Oh, he's not a victim.
He's a
Context
victim.
matters.
I think at the bottom
That's what it really is. You understand what I'm saying? When he was sitting up there focusing on getting his bag, when Jerry Jones didn't go out there and get him the assistance that he needed, when you had people, Dak Prescott got nothing to do with that. Nothing.
What do you mean nothing to do with what?
Okay, we can debate this more in the break. All I'm going to say, if you have someone calling a wide receiver or anyone on your football team lazy and you have issues with penalties, that falls on the head coach.
Correct.
Okay? Not the quarterback.
Howdy, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Today, your number one source for all things America's team. If you're a diehard football fan and love our Dallas Cowboys, you're in the right place. So don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest Cowboys news. Let's get started. Hey, Cowboys fans! Today I'm bringing you some news that could spark a lot of conversation behind the scenes in Dallas, and it's something that might already be on the minds of some of our more attentive fans. This Sunday, the Cowboys will face off against the Detroit Lions in a crucial NFC matchup. But beyond the game itself, there's something else we, in the front office, should keep an eye on. I'll tell you more in just a second, but hang tight because this could be a turning point for the team's future. In recent years, the Cowboys have struggled to get past that playoff hurdle. Mike McCarthy has been the man in charge, but with his contract and the entire coaching staff's contracts set to expire at the end of this season, the team seems to be at a crossroads. Enter a name that's gaining a lot of traction in NFL circles, Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Johnson is considered one of the most innovative offensive minds in the league, and the work he's been doing in Detroit has caught everyone's attention. Under his leadership, the Lions transformed from one of the worst offenses to one of the best in just a year. He turned Jared Goff, who many thought was just a salary dump, into a legitimate weapon in the offense. Sound familiar, Cowboys fans? It's hard not to wonder what he could do with Dak Prescott at the helm, right? Now, think about this. With the Cowboys going through an inconsistent season and the front office possibly considering a coaching change, could Ben Johnson be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? This Sunday, Jerry Jones will have the opportunity to watch Johnson's work up close from the comfort of his suite. It could be the perfect test to help decide the team's future. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Is Johnson the right guy to take our team to new heights, just like he's done with the Lions? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, share with your friends on social media, and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on everything Cowboys. The season still has a lot in store, and we'll be following every step together.